Hello everyone, I'm RecV5.
And I'm Sandman99.
Merry Christmas and welcome back to Madden NFL 2004.
Yes, we're
Santa's
back
Elves
with
franchise.
the Santa's Elves, the Christmas League. Merry Christmas, season's greetings, and all that kind of good stuff. And I guess we didn't finish simming the first week. So I guess we'll do that. There was 3 games left, I guess, to play. And then our next opponent, our second opponent in week 2, is of course the male barnyard poultry type birds.
The Cocks.
Who look like they're a fairly strong defense. And so that might be a bit of a challenge for me. Especially because I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep here because I had the insomnia thing going on.
Yes.
But so I'm not exactly going to be Dan Marino out there today.
That's okay, you can run the ball in this one. It's very much unlike the Madden 05 that we had to play earlier.
Yeah.
That was a stressful game.
Yeah, well, in Madden 05, though, you can't really run the ball. And if you're up against an all-Madden team like the Desperados, well...
In the conference title game.
Passing is difficult and risky, too, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was in our Magicians franchise, for anybody who was curious. And boy, that was a fucking hard game.
Yeah, it
we
was.
barely won that one.
Yeah, well, I guess this isn't going to be posted until long after that's over. But because I think we're already about a week ahead here in Santa's Elves.
That's right. Yeah, you got to get these up and recorded early so that we can release one for every day of Christmas.
Yep. And that's what we do is on December 1st we'll put out the first game and then we'll just continue and throughout the playoffs as far as we can go.
Yep.
To guarantee that we'll be done before Christmas Day or Christmas Eve.
For tuning in again tonight as the visiting team.
And we're in Atlanta.
The home team. Welcome to the game. EA is proud to bring you continuing coverage of the NFL.
Yes, they are. They're proud to bring it to us. And they're talking about Santa Claus. Because really that's what this whole series is all about, right?
Yep. You know, my favorite part is when Santa sacks people.
Well, the male barnyard poultry type birds elected to kick.
Let's see how it plays out tonight.
So I guess we're going to get the ball first today. And this is going to be a bit of an adjustment too, because after playing Madden 05 earlier today, because I played a couple of games, because I played
Yeah, you played a practice
game or two, and now I'm going to have to change gears and play a game that actually plays slightly differently. So,
and it's different enough that it screws you up. Like you were saying that you had trouble in your practice game, but you were fine once you got into your main game.
Yeah.
But now you'll have trouble in this game because you didn't have time to play a practice game before this one.
Well, hopefully things will go well. And I mean, we've been playing a lot of Madden 04 anyway, recording these games. Recording as many of them as we can because it's about mid-November right now.
Yep. So hello everyone from the past.
Yes, from the past. And so by the time this one posts, it'll be a week or so into December, which is why we're wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, because by the time the people out there see it, well, it will be that season. And you know what? In TV commercials and stuff, they've been wishing people happy holidays and doing Christmas commercials and crap like that ever since Halloween, so...
Yeah. These guys, well, they have like this guy.
Yeah.
At tight end, but...
He looks like a pretty good player, actually.
That's all they have, though.
Yeah.
They don't have much else. It's just that guy. They're pretty abysmal in every other way.
And we go back to the game.
And somehow I don't think that a single tight end is going to give them their explosive offense.
No, well, you know, like after playing in week 1 against who did we play? We played
from the 15.
Oh, look at this! Wow.
Just won't go down. Can't get it from behind.
We played the Stingers, I think.
Yep.
34.
Yeah, and we seem to handle them fairly well, so...
Although then again, though, like, we've had some games before where we do better against the all-Madden teams than we do against the non-all-Madden teams.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
I really do think it's a coaching thing.
2nd and 8 coming up here. Ball on their own 36. Changing the play now. Collins comes in motion.
Well, let's see if Collins can catch a pass here.
Closing in. Gets rid of it. And
Yes, he can.
Number 9 hit his target. And they have
Easy.
a first down.
This guy makes it tough catches look easy.
John, each of these teams is in a rebuilding mode. Neither team is really expected
A
to
rebuilding
hit the Super
mode.
Bowl.
Oh, God.
And this has the makings of a game that could go right down to the wire.
Yeah, they're both rebuilding all right. That's one
Yeah,
way to
speak
say
to
it.
your-
Another way
speak
to
for
say it
yourself,
is that they're
Al.
both falling apart
There,
less
I'm going to
quickly.
move that guy
Either
out of
way,
there.
they both have a lot to prove.
I love that.
I forgot to fix that play before today's game.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Straight ahead.
But I love what John just said there, right?
Yeah, falling
Rebuilding
apart.
phase. Falling apart less quickly.
Less quickly, yep. Falling apart less quickly. Okay, well,
We get no respect, even after winning the Super Bowl.
twice.
Using motion.
Well,
Listen, Santa is just a fantastic team leader, okay?
With the pass. And it's complete.
Yep.
The receiver did a nice job creating
Well,
some
I didn't get
separation
much on that pass.
Makes the reception.
The defense needs to keep track of that guy a little better. He can make that kind of grab anytime.
The ball is right at midfield. Card in motion. Under pressure, throwing. Oh, he makes
we'll
the
flood the hell out of it with 4 receivers, eh?
Yeah, apparently.
6-yard line.
Now, this is one heck of a play.
Yeah, like this play is actually, I intended to use it against man coverage and snap the ball when the guy receiver gets to about here,
Yep.
so that he can run his post into the middle and evade the jam. But against a zone defense, this actually worked out pretty well too.
Yeah, because you've got 2 guys trying to cover 4.
Yeah, well, you got 2 guys running deep routes here, which kind of pulls this guy back, and then this guy kind of makes him hesitate toward the outside a little bit too, right?
Yeah, you could have thrown it to either of those guys, really.
Yeah, because he's trying to split the difference and basically cover, like 3 different players all at the same time, right?
Yep.
In this game, I actually kind of like zone defenses.
Number 9, directing traffic.
They're a
Using
lot
motion.
easier to pass against than man defenses are.
Pressure coming. Gets the pass off. And this
Hey,
pass is
caught
complete.
another one.
And he's pushed out of bounds at the 20. How about that speed? Great individual effort.
Not only did the
He's a
quarterback show off his
superstar.
strong arm, but the receiver
Well,
just
at least
played
he's
some
a
amazingly
guy who
soft
caught
game.
2 passes today,
Great
anyway.
throw with an even better catch is always an easy way to pick up first down.
Directing traffic. With the carry.
And actually, you know what? This playmaker stick, even with the limited abilities that it has in this game, was a giant leap forward for the Madden franchise from Madden 03.
Yeah, it was, because back in Madden 03, you basically couldn't use custom formations if you wanted to
Ball on the
reverse them.
12-yard
That's
line.
right. You'd have to have things like the regular... I used to use the regular
Calling an audible.
single back big formation quite a bit,
Yep.
just because it's a balanced formation, so nobody moves when you reverse a play.
On the carry. Ewert barely makes it past the first down marker. Good job getting past
Of
the
course,
6 on that one.
there was the advantage that you could drop back in the shotgun and
Yeah.
then throw a Hail Mary, into triple coverage.
Yeah, and your receiver would almost always catch it anyways. Yeah.
Even if they were a cupcake receiver.
Number 9. See something in the defense. The visiting
Madden
team
03 was like
using
pass defense. What's that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just about non-existent.
drops back, pressure, stepping up,
Uh-oh.
scrambling around.
Didn't like the way
Everybody-
that flat
no, I
pass
didn't.
looked?
And the blitz
Well,
confused
it
pass protection.
basically came a little bit too late. Open.
What they're trying to do on
I see.
defense.
I see.
The guy will show blitz, and he drops into coverage as a guy from
And
the outside.
at this point in the field, I'd rather pull the ball down and take a sack than throw a bad pass, right?
Looks like he's calling an audible.
I'm going to watch that tight end on the right there, Barker.
Closing in. Drill.
Wow,
Madden.
Damn.
you see that? I couldn't
He went
even
down
get the pass
very
away.
hard after getting that
That's the
pass.
thing, though, that's so tough about Madden 04, because I know that this guy's going to run this out and he's going to be open, right? Because the guy covering him, if it's this guy, he's out of position.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell already this guy's going to come. But they can't protect me well enough to be able to I actually threw this ball before he was even finished running the route, right?
Yeah, you were really trying to rush it out there.
Well, I had to, because otherwise I was going to get sacked, right? And there was
Yep.
nothing I could do about it.
And we go back to the
Which is why I may even develop some twin tight end formations for this, so that I can send one guy on the out and have the other guy stay in and block or something, you
Yep.
know? Okay,
The home
this
team
looks like it
lined up
might
with
be
quarter defense.
man
Okay,
coverage
the man
here.
in motion.
Or maybe not.
Dropping back. Throwing.
Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it. He was wide open, but he dropped it. So I guess now we're
That's gotta be
settling
little
for a field goal.
He's been putting in a
Well,
lot
you know
of
what? A
extra
field
time
goal
in
is not a
practice
bad way to
catching
start the
But
game.
it looks like he's really
Well,
having a tough
I
time
guess it'll
keeping
have to do.
concentration out there.
So this one will be from about 31 yards out.
And I don't know if that drop pass would have gotten me a first down anyways, or a touchdown, because
And it's up.
I basically checked down on that one anyway, right? And the second, that previous play where they brought the blitzing linebacker, I mean, you know, like that's just how this game works, right? You know, like the offensive line doesn't handle wide pass rushes well.
He got all of that one. He takes a knee. Ready to go on offense for the first time.
Well, all right then.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 20. Tightening up the coverage along the outside.
Yeah, it's funny, but even though the defensive line controls are different for this game than they are for Madden 05, I don't find I have that difficult of a time adapting.
Knocked the ball right out
Yeah.
of his hand.
Yeah, I know the rip and the swim thing is different, right?
That's right.
And I don't know why they couldn't just make up their minds and have, you know, like a control scheme for it, right?
Well, the thing is, I'm not even sure what they were in Madden 03 now, because it's been so many years since I played it, but they might have been going with the Madden 03 thing, and the Madden 05 thing might have been a new change.
Yeah. Personally, I think they should have made, you know, left it as a rip, a specific rip button and a specific spin button, right?
Like it was in Madden 05.
But I think if you wanted to, if you're facing this way with this camera view playing defense, if you wanted to rip or spin to the right-hand side of the screen, you press right on the D-pad and then the rip or spin button. And the way they set it up is that you had to, like, press the opposite side.
Yep.
You know, like it was confusing, right?
Well, I think if the camera was facing the side from the defense rather than from the offense, then it makes sense.
Yeah, I know, but
And that's probably how they designed it, but that's not actually how it plays in practice.
yeah, well, what they should have done is they should have made it how it plays in practice. Because then, you know, like, not too many people's brains are wired in such a way that they can actually successfully translate something like that from being backwards to begin with, right?
Well, you pick it up with enough practice, right?
Yeah, I know, but
You know,
it should
as a
be far
receiver,
more
all you have to
intuitive.
do is get a step. and this guy's going to put the
For
ball
me,
on
because that's the way it is in this game. If you want to go left, you rip left. If you want to go right, you rip right. Right, that's how it is in Madden 04, whereas in Madden 05, if you want to go right, you rip left, and if you want to go left, you rip right, because the spin and rip buttons are the same button in Madden 05.
And I'm saying that doing that was dumb. Right? That was, in my opinion, that was a step backward from this game.
An advantage to it, though, is that in this game, the rip button and the strafe button are shared. And so sometimes you can go to rip off somebody, and then if you hold the button a little too long, you're strafing, right?
Yeah.
That being said, the rip animation is a shorter animation in this game, too, even if it's less successful.
Looking for room. Carries the ball for 3, maybe 4 yards.
See there, that the defensive end burst through the line, but the way this game works, I was actually able to, cut back inside and pick up 2 or 3 yards there instead of getting stuffed for a loss, right?
Yep.
I have to say, I feel that the way that the run game is done in this game is far more realistic than what goes on in Madden 05.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, but without Madden 05, we wouldn't have star running backs like Kelvin Allen.
Yeah.
The legend.
But the thing is, though, in this game, there aren't really any unbeatable run plays.
Hand it off.
Like all your stretch run and that kind of thing notwithstanding, it's not something that is, the AI is completely unable to defend themselves against, at least to a certain extent, right?
Well, I mean, even given what a run-heavy offense I run, in Madden 05, I still run 15 run plays for a loss every game.
Yeah.
And it's usually for a loss of like 4 or 5 yards every time.
Using motion.
And then on 2nd and 15, I'll hand the ball off and pick up 15 yards.
Closing in. Gets rid of it.
And he dropped it wide open, too, right? That was probably a touchdown.
Yeah, well,
Right.
Cupcake factor and all that.
But look at this. They're sending a guy way wide,
Yep.
right? I even left both tight ends in to block here. And look at that. The left tight end picks up that guy. No, they're sending 6 here. Yeah,
that guy from the outside isn't going to get picked up by anyone.
no, because he's too, well, actually he did. The tight end got him. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the tight end came back and cut blocked him.
Oh, good for the tight end.
So everything here worked pretty much perfectly except for this part right there,
Back to the game.
which is kind of annoying, but anyway. I don't know. Personally, I think that
3rd and long. Ball on the 19-yard line.
they should have left the run game the way that it was in Madden 04 and just worked on improving the pass defense capabilities, right?
Yeah, well, if they made the players a little bit more proactive in the pass defense, and then they combine that with a willingness to, or they combine that with like the various playmaker stick improvements that they made, then they very easily would have had a very, very solid game that they could have run for years to come.
Yeah.
Comes into the game to
But
try
instead,
the
they
field
decided they had to take custom playbooks out of the game and introduce QB vision.
Well, and all those stupid mini games too, right?
Yeah, if you played the Superstar mode. I mean, you could always not play the Superstar mode, right?
That
But
successful
even then,
field
you
goal
still had to deal with
is the
QB
second
vision.
of the game.
Yeah.
And then once they finally did away with QB vision, then they brought in like player perks.
Yeah, I remember that. I had Madden 11 and they had so many different ones of those, I couldn't even remember them
Yeah,
all.
they started those first in Madden 08, I believe.
Like I'd actually look at the defense, particularly on the field. My defense is out on the field, and every player has some kind of icon over them, and they're all different. And I can't possibly remember what all those icons mean. And even if it has any bearing on what I'm trying to do out there.
Ultimately, I don't give a shit about those things. I just want to look at the guy's stats, and I want to choose players to be on my team in certain positions based on those stats, right?
Yeah, well, and you know what? They didn't really need all those perks because I thought that
they already had a stat system.
All of those things were perfectly summed up in their ability scores, right?
Yeah.
In some detail.
For example,
right?
if I want somebody who can hit hard, and I want somebody who is big, I'm going to choose a guy who has a decent strength rating, and a guy who can tackle relatively well.
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of guys that I'm going to draft for cornerback.
Or any other position,
Yeah, or
actually.
any other position. I mean, the stronger you are and the better you are at tackling, the bigger a position you can play. You can think of it as an occupational perk.
Only one man in the backfield. Tosses it left. Smith stops the play in the backfield.
Yeah, that cornerback fought off the block there and hauled the ball carrier down behind the line. I think it was only a loss of a half a yard or something, but still.
Pressure coming.
Oh, he just threw one right at Jefferson. Run, Jefferson. Well, whoever that is, he's faster than Jefferson anyway.
Yeah, well, Jefferson's actually not that fast, if I recall.
Yeah, well, he's a linebacker, right? So I guess...
a heck of a lot easier. And on that play, it led to an interception.
But he seems to have a surprisingly good set of hands compared to the people that I usually pick up in the draft.
Oh, he's one of your linebacker draft additions, hey?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. And I don't think that I picked him because he could catch or anything. I think I just picked him because he had physical characteristics that I liked. And it just so happens that he can catch, and he seems to be relatively good at it. Because he seems to get quite a few interceptions.
Yeah.
But I promise you, that was completely unintentional.
Hey, when I start from the 6-yard line, I can score a touchdown.
Well, there you go.
I can gain 6 yards and score a touchdown.
The lineup for the extra point. And it's on its way.
But of course, people who have been watching us play the Christmas League this year will have realized by now that I'm definitely going for the run-heavy approach, because in this game I have a really hard time passing and I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah, well, the AI is also like, this is the year of the turnover and the year of the interception, right?
Yeah. As well as the scrambling quarterback, right?
And the special teams fumble.
Yeah, and the special teams. Well, actually, no, it's not as bad. Like on punt returns and stuff, I feel like if you have a little bit of room, you can still return a punt return. You know, like return a punt reasonably safely. But
the difference between this and Madden 05 is that in Madden 05, if somebody breathes on you, you will fumble the ball after receiving the punt.
Yeah.
But this game, I believe, has more muffed punts.
Yeah.
It's like you can try to return a punt with somebody in your face and you won't fumble it because they're in your face, but you might just coincidentally muff the punt just because. Even if you have a really high return rating.
Oh, just about threw another one.
Thought that was about to be picked off, John.
I bet you.
Oh, that was a lineman there.
He was wishing that he could have it back.
Playing the spy.
Yeah.
It's 3rd down and 7 to go.
Okay, well, I can understand him dropping that one. They're not exactly known for their hands.
Gonna try to jam that tight end.
Wow. I'm surprised that he could even complete that pass. If I tried to throw a pass like that, the guy'd probably drop it.
Because if you make the reception, it should be good for a fresh set of down. If you make the catch and you don't get the first, it can only be due to lack of concentration by the receiver.
But so far, though, you're getting the pressure and you're chasing the guy around and stuff like that, right? Like,
yep.
You know, I can certainly see why they're not having a lot of success right now, especially passing, because you know, like the guy's running for his life on literally every play, right?
In motion. Drops back under pressure. Gets rid of it.
Oh.
He was wide open.
And he dropped it. Now that is inexcusable.
It's second down and 10 to go.
Yes, it is, John. It is inexcusable.
Out of all of our halfbacks, I think Heward has the worst hands.
Yeah.
And Sensi has the best hands.
Hand off to the tailback.
Oh, wow. That wasn't much of a hit.
That's a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a really odd-looking collision.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know. I haven't had a lot of success throwing passes in this game, but
Team success on third down so far.
Third down conversions are usually a good barometer of how well your offense is playing. It means that your offense is making
I think I'm going to tell that guy to block.
Pressure coming.
Hey, catch the ball. Yeah, he catches the ball. He was wide open underneath.
This is a great call on third down to keep this drive alive. They were in a tough spot here.
Yeah, I think the difference between Sensi's catching rating and Heward's catching rating is like 20 points.
Really?
Like, there's a reason why Sensi there is third down running back.
Well, he caught that pass anyways.
We're ready to start the second quarter.
That being said, Heward is a lot better at breaking tackles than Sensi is.
Yeah. See, there's a bit of a difference in the way that I design pass plays in this game too, mainly because of how the defense works in this game, like the wide rushing rushers and that kind of thing. And that is that I design passes mainly to try and flood out zones and pick up short gains.
See, wasn't it amazing to be able to snap the ball while that receiver is doing the sumo shuffle?
Yeah.
Couldn't do that in
that's
Madden
another.
05.
Well, basically, that's another animation trap that they added, though, to try and make playing offense harder, right?
Directing traffic.
Because, as we all know, in Madden 05, the defense doesn't really play all that well. They
probably play worse than in this game, honestly, because the play calling is way worse in Madden 05.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on the
And that's because the play calling in Madden 05 is hyper aggressive, and even if you look at the default playbooks, they actually have different plays in the default playbook. So, like, in Madden 04, which is the game that I played more than anything else, they actually have mixed man zone coverages in the default playbooks.
Yeah.
And that's where I got the idea from.
Yeah, and I get caught with those coverages sometimes too, right?
Yeah. Whereas in Madden 05, the only time you see them in a mixed man zone coverage is when they audible, like, manually with the playmaker stick into a mixed man zone coverage, because most defensive schemes that are in the out-of-the-box playbooks in Madden 05 do not have mixed man zone coverages in them.
Yeah. But they do have a lot of blitz plays.
And a lot of pure man coverage.
Wow. Okay, well, that was a 2-yard loss for sure.
That was a perfect time for these guys to call a blitz.
That guy basically just came right through the middle untouched.
Yep.
Man in motion.
Still, though, in Madden 05, they'd call it a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, probably.
Drops back, closing in. He surveys the field.
Oh, he coughed it up.
This pass is incomplete. That looked like a catch until he got nailed.
He saw the receiver hauling it in, and then boom, he pops him, and it ends up incomplete.
Here's a third and long situation. Ball on the 13-yard line.
They have to start scoring touchdowns once they get inside the 20-yard line.
Well, I'm trying, but, you know...
Jeez, John, you're so fucking critical, but we're ahead by 13 points, man. What do you want from us?
Wow, I just barely got rid of that. I had to look for a while. Like, there's only 3 receivers in there in this particular play, but I had to look at all 3 of them.
Yep.
So I guess we're kicking a field goal again.
That's okay. You know, we keep making field goals and they keep making nothing, then we'll win.
Yeah. They seem to really stiffen up when we get inside their 10, eh? Because that's 3 times now I've moved the ball relatively easily until I get to about their 10-yard line, and then all of a sudden it's like running into a wall, right? Well, I'm going to have to cover this one.
Our second string tight end is on the special teams coverage team.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any very fast players there. That's why I took control of a different guy and started moving toward the middle of the field, because I wanted that kick returner to move out toward the sideline, right?
Yep.
Because if he manages to change directions and start running across the field, that's when we'd be in trouble, right?
Come on, Santa.
Hey, remember that one game? I don't remember if it was last season or the season before, where Santa Claus got 9 face mask penalties in one game.
That, you know,
I think that's probably a record for one player to get that many penalties.
He was just giving them their lumps, right?
Yeah. Santa Claus is a dirty player, that's for sure.
They were naughty that year.
Only one man in the back.
They should have been better people, and then he wouldn't want to tear them apart.
Yeah.
Pressure coming. Gets the pass.
Well, that one hit the defender, and they got a holding penalty. Yeah, I'd decline it too.
Yeah, that was holding on me, actually, I'm pretty sure.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
It was holding on the offense, because
like it was holding the guy who was holding me.
Oh yeah.
Like physically holding me specifically.
But the thing is, though, you want to decline that penalty because
third
down and 12, they still have another chance, right?
That's right. Yep.
Unable to get anything going on that series, they'll have to punt it away here. Here's the punt.
Look at that guy just keeps outrunning the coverage guys, right?
Well, they do have 1 or 2 speedy players on their team, right?
Yeah, they can actually run faster than the coverage guys can too, eh? Okay, somebody's got to block that middle linebacker, okay? All right? Okay? Oh, okay, well, you got to block the defensive end too.
That was just a defensive line getting lower than the offensive line. When your defensive guys up front can control the line of scrimmage, it makes it very difficult to move the ball.
These guys seem to be a little bit harder to run against than our last opponent was.
In spite of the fact that their last opponent was an all Madden team.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit tougher time of it here today.
Pressure. Gets rid of it.
Well, I managed to make it over the jumping pass rusher there. Okay, well, 3rd and 4, I guess, is kind of a manageable situation to be in. Let's try this.
Number 9 sends a man in motion. He sees something in the defense.
He's not going to get over where he needs to be.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess I didn't make it, but
great defensive work.
These guys know what they have to do.
I think I did better than being short by 2, though. Oh, well.
So 3 and out, and they'll line up to punt.
Oh, shit.
It might be okay.
No, it's going to go out of bounds at like 10 yards downfield. I would have done better if I had pooch kicked it. Which is what's going to happen from now on.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I mean,
it doesn't work that well in this game anyways, because they're like insanely good at returning even like punts aimed nosedived at their feet, right?
Yeah. Because, you know what, that one would have gone out of bounds way sooner than I wanted it to, even if I'd have kicked it down the middle, right? Like it just, sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do.
Well, you could always adopt a policy of kicking it down the middle.
Well, the thing is that, then you
if you kick it high and down the middle, that's better than kicking it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Gets rid of it.
Oh,
Wow.
That was a lucky bounce.
That was a backward pass. That's what that was.
And here's what they've been able to do so far on third down.
Third down conversions is a keeper stat. When you convert on third down, you keep three things. You keep your drive going.
Okay.
I was starting to wonder if they'd actually get there.
They didn't manage to turn that into a first down. It was close, but
offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up the punt. Here's the kick. And he signals to the fair catch.
well, that one took kind of a favorable bounce for us.
Yeah, well, there was no way I was going to get to that one in time.
Yeah, really, he kicked it really away from you, didn't he? They've been playing this 3-3 nickel almost full time out here, and you'd think that I'd be able to run against that, right?
Nah. Speaking from someone who used to run a full-time 3-3 nickel, the 3-3 nickel is actually pretty good against the run.
Yeah. Apparently it's better than the 4-3.
Oddly enough, yeah. Because, I don't know, it's something about the way that the players are positioned in the 4-3 that the game mechanically doesn't really seem to go well with. And that was a problem in all of these games. The 4-3 just sucks against the run. Although it's better against the run than the goal line formation.
Oh, well, I'm going to challenge that and hope that I get it back.
Oh, you just called a timeout.
Shit.
One too low. Or one too high.
Yeah, that was a controller D-pad error. That's what that was. I think you should be able to challenge it regardless of what you do. If you call a timeout or whatever, like, I mean, that's a mechanic that they built into the game to make it harder than it should be.
Well, I think there's like a hotkey. You press the right trigger button and the
I don't know. I think in situations where there's a turnover like that, like a fumble, then maybe they should just have an option automatically come up that says, do you want to challenge?
Fair enough.
Because that way you don't have to navigate through, two menu systems in order to even get there. And I also think that the play should stop. Like, I don't like that rule where they allow the play to continue after a fumble occurs. Because I think that unless it's very obviously a fumble, like, it should be a judgment call on the referee's part whether to blow the play dead or not right there on the spot. I don't agree with the philosophy that everything is a fumble until proven otherwise, right? I think that nothing should be a fumble unless it's proven.
Well, you know what? All they got was a field goal out of it, so it's really no big deal.
Yeah, but still, that's what I think. I think nothing should be a fumble unless it's proven, or unless the referee calls it such on the field. And if it looks like the player is down, because lots of times we see these fumbles where it looks like the player's down already, and you use a challenge, and sure enough, it gets overturned. Well, you shouldn't have to do that, right? Like, they should make better on-field calls. And I'm not just being bitter because of the fumble. I'm also, like, it's just something that I think is right. And I have no idea whether that's an official NFL rule or not or whatever, but if it is, I still think it's wrong.
Well, the NFL rules have even changed a bit since these games came out too, right? Like, the most notorious thing that they changed was the adding of the defenseless receiver penalty.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of defensive schemes that I run, where I like to play pass defense by defending the man rather than the ball.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the modern NFL anymore, but you could do it in the old NFL back around this time.
Looks like he's changing the play. Collins,
which is why I tend to go for those bigger, stronger players instead of going for, the agile speedsters on defense.
Pass play here on first down. Pressure gets the pass off.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, Travis Taylor scores a touchdown.
Just put the ball up there, and the receiver ran.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't agree with some of the rule changes they made in the modern NFL anyways.
Yeah, the kickoff rule is really weird.
And I mean, you play these guys like some of the changes, like the kickoff rule too. They make for contact reasons too, because special teams is one of the most injury-prone parts of the game. But I think if you're going to pay these guys hundreds or even millions of dollars a year, that you're paying them that wage because of the risk to their physical health that the game poses, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, this game is 20 years old now, right? Or over 20 years old.
Yep.
And even the guys who are the lowest paid players on the team are making $500,000 a year, right?
That's right, yep.
So...
And they're the guys who ride the pine.
So I don't know. I mean, if I could have played professional football, even if I was never a starter, if I could have rode the pine for 2 or 3 years for $500,000 a year, I would have been set for life by the time I was 50, right? You know, like it would have been, it would have been enough to. In fact, by the time I was 30, if I retired at say mid-30s. With $1.5 million, less whatever I would have spent on day-to-day living expenses and stuff. But like you start up your savings, investments, and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
And you know what? I know of people, including myself, who have retired on a whole lot less than that.
Ooh, face mask.
Like it probably took me most of my life to earn $1.5 million, right?
Well, the way I see it is people who play football for a living play football because they love the sport, and they go into football knowing that it's a physical sport and knowing that it has potential serious physical risks. And we pay them hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars a year because of the physical risks of the game, because they're basically trading their short-term physical health to do something that they love and to entertain us all. But at the same time, though, that's why we pay them the money that they have.
Wow, I'm sure glad he couldn't catch up to that.
Yeah, I think that was that speedy
open.
Tight end.
Yeah. Well, and then you look at the CFL, where the highest-paid players in the league make about the same as the lowest-paid player on any given team in the NFL, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know much about the CFL myself.
Well, I don't know, in more recent years, I don't know whether they've gotten a higher pay scale or not, but I doubt it, because, the last time that I went to a football game, I mean, I bought tickets that were in the corner of the end zone, so they were kind of, like cheap seats, but I still only paid $20 a ticket.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think that they're going to, in a stadium that only seats 26,000 people, I don't think they're going to make a whole lot of money on tickets that are well under $100 a seat. And I know my brother-in-law used to have season tickets to the local team, and his season tickets were about $600 a year, right? And that was for 18 or 9 regular season home games plus any home playoff games that might have occurred, right?
Yep. But I think too, players these days, they approach it more from I want to make money perspective rather than just they love the sport perspective anymore.
Yeah.
And they're not out there to play football, they're out there to make a career and make money and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they have these ideas about long-term entitlements and playing until they're well into their 30s or maybe even their 40s and things like that. It's just I don't care about your career aspirations. I want to see people get hit.
Well, and the thing is that, the local team that we have here, the Alchemos.
Yeah, oh God, don't even get me started on that.
Well, back when I was in high school, one of the guys who was one of the more well-known players, one of the star players on defense, his name, I believe, was Joe Holloman. Well, he had a day job. He actually worked at a store called International Stereo.
Yep.
Right? And the very first pair of speakers that I ever bought, stereo speakers, I bought them from Joe Holloman.
Wow.
Yeah. So they weren't getting paid a lot of money to play football. You know, like they also had a plan B, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily see a problem with paying them a bit of money, and I don't necessarily see a problem with them being having a bit of a celebrity status. But at the same time, if we're going to pay them that kind of money, then we should expect that kind of physical contact too, right? If you're going to make the good money, you put in the hard work.
I might want to spend a time out here if I'm going to. I got 2 leg, right?
Yeah, you got 2.
So I'm going to call a time out here because I wasn't really paying attention to the clock, but it's been just running away here.
Oh, that's because our default mode of operation is run the clock, man.
Yeah, well, and also, like I said, I'm feeling a little bit sleep deprived today too, right? Well, so much for that. I guess I'll let the clock run and I'll try and take one deep shot.
That blitz a little quicker, and that way he'd be able to at least get the ball out of there for an incompletion instead of losing all kinds of yards like that.
Come on, move.
The man in motion. Drops back, pressure coming.
I'm going to get sacked again. He came open, but it took too long.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I guess that's it for halftime.
Time for the halftime stretch.
Yeah, time for the halftime stretch.
Grab your milk and cookies, everyone.
Yep.
And we're back.
Yes.
And we're going to be analyzing the replay from the last play before the end of the half, I guess.
Yep. Because in this formation, I do have the 2 tight ends. I have them split out a little bit wider.
Yep.
To help pick up the wide pass rush, but in this case, it wouldn't have helped. And this is something also that you just don't see in Madden 05, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you know, look at how wide the defensive ends are. I mean, this guy is literally, if the tight end were in his normal spot, this guy would be on the outside shoulder of the tight end,
yep.
right? And both ends are lined up basically over where they would be directly over top of the tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to watch this guy, this linebacker, and this guy as well, because this is a 6-man blitz, okay? They're sending a 6-man blitz, and I didn't audible this tight end to block, but even if I had, I don't think it would have helped. Because look at this. This defensive end just runs right around the tackle and the guard, right? But if I had the tight end in to block, maybe he would have come over and picked this guy up. Maybe
but then
not.
That guy would be...
but that guy
not
would
far
also
behind.
Be there, not far behind. And as you can see, I didn't even have time to throw to either of the 2 deep starting receivers, even this guy who's nearly finished his pattern, right? I didn't have time to throw the ball to him, even though that's a relatively short pass, right? You know, like that's like about an 8-yard curl.
Yep.
And my tight end blocking on the right here did in fact pick up, but you see how he went out and picked up the blitzing linebacker?
Yep.
And then the tackle actually managed to come over and get this guy at the last second, but
now you're trapped.
Yeah, but now I've got the backside pursuit coming in here after me, and that's what gets me, right? And this is what I mean when I talk about the defensive ends having the ability to run around the tackles. And in Madden 04, the tackles just can't keep up to this.
Yeah.
But in Madden 05, you rarely ever see this happen because even with a spread line, the ends are still lined up over top of the tackles.
So I wonder how much of a difference it would make if you went and you specifically went out of your way to draft offensive tackles for their 40 time. Maybe you would have to do that.
I don't know. But anyway, in this case, if I had left this guy in the block, I suspect he probably would have picked this guy up.
Yep.
And the end still would have run around the outside. Right? And I didn't take a particularly deep drop there either. You know, like, and I did step up. Like I tried to step up
yep.
to get away from the pass rush. but the pocket was basically non-existent, and it was already collapsing in the middle too. Like I had nowhere to go, right?
Yep.
So anyway, that's just a little bit of an analysis on what went wrong.
Here's a quick look at how both teams have fared in the first half.
On that play. That being said, that was the last play of the half. I wasn't really expecting to do anything there anyway.
At least you didn't cough it up.
Yeah,
Take a sack fumble.
but still, that kind of illustrates the
Difficulty of passing.
difficulty of passing in this game, and why, in my opinion, passing in this game is actually more difficult than it is in Madden 05, because as far as I could tell, in Season 1, the only way I could avoid repeatedly being sacked like that was I basically had that shotgun deep snap where I moved the quarterback back from the line of scrimmage as far as I could. And then I had, you know, like four receivers stacked on one side kind of thing.
Yep.
And I threw a lot of wide receiver screens because I had one of those four receivers was lined up basically next to, like, in a parallel, like right alongside the quarterback at the same depth.
Closing in, looking downfield, and on target. A display of great hands on that catch.
And, you know, like I would throw short passes to him and use the three receivers ahead of him as blockers, right?
Yep.
And it was sort of like a weird non-standard screen, I guess you could say, right?
Was stuck on that play, John.
They're just relentless when they are.
I'm happy that somebody managed to get through the line and stop that guy there, although I think I was in a position I could have made a tackle on him if he'd progressed any further.
But anyway, not to beat it to death, but I think that, in my opinion, as far as how the defensive line functions and all that kind of stuff, that was not a bad return.
Yeah, well, the last-minute block there, I was looking for that last-minute block, and that last-minute block managed to stumble that guy enough that I could run around him.
Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, I think that the defensive line just by itself gets a much better pass rush than they do in Madden 05, right?
I agree.
And if they blitz from the outside at the same time, well, then it's fierce, right? Like, it's really, really tough to stand up to that. And I mean, on that play that I just finished beating to death, like you know, beating like a dead horse, I had 6 blockers in, and they had 6 pass rushers, and I still couldn't pick them all up, right?
Yep.
And they got there fast enough, even the wide guys from the outside got there fast enough that I could not, you know, even throw a short, like a check down pass, right?
Yep. But if you miss, there isn't a lot of help at the next level to keep them from picking up the first down.
1st and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line.
Which is why I decided to try and go with a bit more of a running game in this game, in this season.
Under pressure with the throw, he hits his receiver. They convert for the first down on that throw.
What a throw! He put everything.
And that time, I don't know whether I was just lucky or what. No, see how the defensive end ran around the tackle again? But the running back I had in the backfield picked him up, and actually the other guy, like the 2 running backs, picked up the wide pass rushers, and they were, you know, like they were basically sending, you know, like a 5-man blitz here, right?
Yep.
And then this guy looks like he had a man coverage assignment and joined in on the pass rush. But I had seven blockers to pick up 6 guys, right?
We'll go back to the play on the field.
Which is why I use that tactic when I want to run the ball or pass the ball, right? You know, I'll have two extra blockers in just to try and help me, you know, stay on my feet.
Hands it off to the back, runs over the 10. The defender brings him down at the 23.
You love a back who can contribute consistent positive yardage like this.
In field goal range now.
And here I've got both tight ends blocking.
Man in motion.
And I'm hoping that I can hit Heward on the outside because I didn't see anybody follow him, right?
Pressure coming with the pass.
But I have to be able to stand in the pocket long enough for him to run that
Great
route.
pass
Yep.
And a great run.
And if we look at this one, well, basically, again, the defensive end, you know, because they have the line shifted this way. So the defensive end cleanly runs around the tackle, and they're sending a blitz again here, right?
Yep.
In fact, they're sending 2 linebackers on the blitz again. This almost looks like a play called Fireman, right?
It might be that.
The angles that the 2 linebackers come at, right? Or free fire, I think it might be called too. Like the outside, if I remember right, the outside linebacker sort of loops to the outside on that side, and the other guy angles toward the middle, right? And that's how they break down offenses, right?
Yep.
So
Because they're trying to force you to decide to block somebody, right?
yeah, exactly. But 7, if you outnumber the pass rushers 7-6, and I mean they don't have very many people out here covering, which is why, you know, like no one's covering this guy, right? Because they just ran out of coverage.
Because they're sending all those people on the blitz.
Yeah, because they've only got 5 guys in coverage.
So let's pick up the action.
Anyway, I like to talk about this sort of thing. I'm still really relearning Madden 04 and figuring out how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, I didn't even bother learning Madden 04 again. I just ported the old playbook over and decided to see how it works.
yeah.
Looking to run it here.
Which, things behave differently in this game, but it still produces similar results in spite of the fact that those results come about a slightly different way.
Yeah. Well, anyway, like I said, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think that
Using motion.
the Madden 04 AI plays better overall, better pass defense.
They have better play calling, too.
Yeah, their play calling is better. They don't have that, you know, 11-man line thing going on.
So he crosses
And
the
you know
goal
what?
line.
From what I can tell, they
Touchdown.
blitz a lot, but when they leave the corners out wide and they leave the safeties
Comes in
back,
to attempt the point after.
They don't give up touchdowns doing it.
not only that, but they also disguise what they're doing better. Because when in Madden 05, when the defense is going to blitz, they more or less announce it, right? Like they move everybody right up to the line and they show it.
Yeah, it's completely telegraphed.
Whereas here, you know, like that 6-man blitz play, well, it pretty much looks like almost every other play they run on defense too, right?
Yep.
Which is why in this game as well, even if there's not as much pressure, sometimes I might even, you know, like get fooled and throw it right at a defender because that defender is, the coverage is something that I didn't expect, right?
Yep.
It's more difficult to read coverages and anticipate what their defense is going to do in this game, even if the individual players don't quite play as well, right? And I think that if they'd have kept things the way that they were in this game, and then made the individual players play better against the pass like they did in Madden 05,
They would have had, like, the best football game in existence.
then you could have honestly said fear the D, because then there would have been something to be afraid of, right?
Pressure, surveying the field.
Well,
I think he actually evaded the blitzer there, and then Jefferson, who was also rushing, ended up slipping off his block and getting him after he evaded towards the pass rush.
yeah, but I think your coverage is good though, right? And that's the defense for pass defense in this game is press coverage.
Yep.
Right? Look at that. See, you're jamming everybody, and even if they get good initial protection, if you can hold those guys up at the line long enough, that's why he's scrambling
It
around.
also makes the coverage much tighter, too.
Yeah, that's why he's scrambling around, though. He's trying to buy time until one of these receivers manages to break the press coverage, right?
Yep.
Closing in, throwing short to the right side.
And another flat pass for an incomplete.
Yeah. Well, there he was throwing it away, though, because you had that linebacker in the middle who slipped through the line again, right?
Yeah, well, I think also, too, he got hit while he threw that.
That may have also been an attempted screen, which is why sometimes those guys in the middle come through cleanly, because if the guys setting up the blocking for the screen, release a little bit too early, then like they can let the pass rush get through a little bit too quickly too, right?
Positive yards on a return is better than nothing.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Using motion. Collins. Takes that one and heads upfield to pick up the first down.
Wow, look at that. They gave me 10 yards for that.
When they did that, it opened up a hole, and they ran right through it.
I seem to remember now, many years ago even, I don't know if I was as good at running offense as I am now in Madden 04, but I seem to remember basically running on first down and running almost always on second down as well. And only passing on third down when I had to, right?
It's second down and 6 to go. Ball on the 38-yard line. Number 9 gets set. Calling an audible now. Man in motion. Dropping back, under pressure, throws it. Pass falls incomplete. He was running free in the secondary, but couldn't.
Yeah, and that's basically how you beat teams like the Monsters and things, too.
Yep, pretty much.
You don't often get that wide open.
And they're especially bad, actually. I think the Monsters are a tougher team to beat than the Sugar Buzz are, because on the Sugar Buzz, the players still have varying height.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Monsters, every monster is 7 feet tall.
Yeah, all of them are 7 feet tall, yeah.
And so combine that with a 99 jump rating, and you basically can't throw it over them, right?
Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Room to run. And this pass is completed.
Ooh.
Big time play.
I think Sensi's faster than that guy, too.
Yeah, he
Not by
could
much,
be.
but by a little bit.
But look at this, though. See, this guy, I think, is playing a flat zone of some kind, but he plays a bit of a cushion.
And he took a bad angle.
And he's not as fast as the all Madden players that can try and jump on this, right? And he didn't commit, and that's what made it so I couldn't throw it to this guy, because he didn't actually commit to this pass until I threw it to him, right?
But that's okay, because you could throw it to underneath instead.
Yeah,
But I think, Sensi has 95 speed, so Sensi is about as fast as an all Madden corner.
They have first and 10 here.
Alright, so that guy probably has 89 speed, I'd guess, or 90 speed.
Yeah.
Calling an audible.
And that means he's just not fast enough to shut that down.
Straight ahead for a gain of a couple.
Oh, well. Anyway, and then there's the standard of a successful or failed run play too, right? And in this game, more often than not, a failed run play still gets you a yard or two, right?
Looks like he's calling an audible. Eward. Tackle at the 3. Pickup of about 8. Less than a yard to go. Directing traffic. The visiting team.
A few inches and a cloud of dust.
Yeah. Well, you know, what can I say? I prefer Yeah, I made a first down there, so now I've got 3 more shots at it.
Well, it's pretty hard to stop the offense, any offense, in any game, in any Madden, from making inches.
Yeah, I find, though, that even with this play, if I'm going up against the goal line defense here, I can do okay. But against the 4-3, and that's happened to me before where I got stuffed, right?
Yep. Yeah, well, and again, this is why I don't run a 5-man line set in any of my defenses, right? I personally think that the 4-man line set with the supporting linebackers in the back is a better run defense.
Well, it's funny, you know, but I'll run the 5-man line.
He sees something in the defense.
But I don't use it at the goal line.
Yeah.
You know, I actually will go to like one of my nickel blitz packages or something and use that as a goal line defense, right?
Well, I think what makes the 4-3 work, at least in this game, in terms of run defense, is the layers of players. Because what you end up with is you end up with players who can fill in the gaps as they open up, rather than players on the line who simply try to occupy blocks. Because at the end of the day, that's what the offensive line wants. The offensive line wants players to occupy blocks. They don't want players to open up or to slip through open gaps and shut them down.
Yeah,
right. And linebackers will kind of like loop around and look for those gaps in a run situation.
Next time they get the ball.
He sends it off.
Oh, I think that's out of bounds. Damn it. I still haven't got a handle on this
But
yet.
he still fielded that. That wasn't out of bounds by much.
So he can't keep the kick in bounds.
The receiving team has got to be happy with that kick.
So they have 1st and 10 here.
It's okay, maybe they'll throw an interception or something.
Well, they did that once already today.
Tosses it right.
Or they'll have a run for a loss, and a big run for a loss.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing about these wide formations that I make, though, right, is toss plays don't work against them, generally speaking. Now and then you see an exception, but most of the time, toss plays are a bad idea against a defense like this. Just look at how wide everybody is.
Yep.
Pressure with the pass.
Well, it's the same thing with the 4-3 defense in this game, right? I mean, even this at a standard alignment, that 4-man line is pretty wide, right?
Yep.
And if they spread them, then they're really wide.
Yeah, and if anything, this alignment is actually somewhat tighter than that one. Although it is wide by Madden 05 standards, which is where this play came from. And that's because everybody is packed in the middle like a can of sardines in Madden 05.
Yeah, well, that's why you don't get that pressure from the outside from them very often, right? The only time that they can ever get that degree of pressure is if they send linebackers, because their defensive line, even when it's spread, doesn't have a wide enough posture, right?
You're told to get as much as you can on a return, and that's just what he did.
Whereas here, you can run up the middle a little bit better, but running to the outside is a little bit tougher, right?
Yep.
Directing traffic. The visiting team using motion. On the call. Breaks through.
Well, you know what? You're really racking up the yardage and the points on these guys today.
Yep.
They're really not looking all that strong of a strong defense out there.
Well, you did set up one touchdown, though, with that interception where I was able to start from their 6-yard line. I mean,
yeah, that's true. It would only be 30-3.
And the first 2 possessions that I had, they actually stopped me, and I had to settle for field goals, right?
Yeah, a big part of this, too, is just their offense can't do anything, so we end up with the ball almost all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine that their defense is probably kind of fatigued, too, right?
Ball on the 41-yard line.
From being out on the field all the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, is because you take the approach that you do, you don't make very many mistakes. So there's just nothing for them to capitalize on.
Well, it's the way I look at it is it's better to get sacked than it is to throw a bad pass, right?
Defense did a good job anticipating the snap count. With an aggressive defense like this, A hard count could be an effective way to keep him off balance while trying to draw him offside.
Which is why I've been sacked a few times in this game too, because of that
Second and 10.
philosophy, right? You know, I'd rather not. Look at this, they're in the 46 here by the looks of it. 46 Bear.
Using motion.
Yeah, I wonder how that works in this game. In Madden 05, it's a terrible formation, but in this game, maybe. Well, there's the pass rusher.
He
Yep.
finds his man. Great throw to beat the zone.
I'll tell you, the defense has to do a
The thing
better
is, though,
job
they
of
only
coming up
sent
and clamping
4
down on the
guys, right?
receiver whenever he enters their zone.
You know, like and actually in the 46 Bear, I think one of these guys in a 3-point stance is actually a linebacker.
That's right, yep.
And that's why he dropped off like that. So they were just sending a 4-man rush, but still, that guy does get around the outside. It's just that I'm only throwing a 4-yard curl, so I actually had time to, you know, get rid of the ball.
Looks like he's changing the play.
Oh, they stopped me.
Drags the ball carrier down behind the line.
Yeah, that guy just slipped off his block. Although at least he had to slip off a block.
Yeah, well, I don't feel so bad about that because, first of all, that sort of thing doesn't happen every third play like it does in Madden 05. And yeah, secondly, he at least... I missed that. At least he had to beat a block in order to do that, right? You know, he wasn't basically... Oh, I didn't miss it. He wasn't basically just ignored by an offensive lineman and allowed to run into the backfield unopposed, right?
Yep. Yeah, you thought you missed that? You gotta remember that Santa Claus there has 99 accuracy.
Yeah, that's true.
All you have to do is hit it in the yellow zone and it's good.
He got all of that one.
No, he's going to take the touchback.
So he downs the kick in the end zone.
But yeah, I mean, I think we also particularly learned,
The defense is going to play this one
you know,
very tight.
in playing games with the Elves here this season, that if you are patient and stick with the run game, that, you know, generally speaking, you can control the clock and keep the ball out of your opponent's hands, and you know, rack up, you know, 140 to 150 yards a game on the ground, right? And if you can do that, well, then, you know, like you can win more games than you're going to lose for sure.
Good-looking play there as they pick up the first down and keep the drive alive. Only one man in the backfield. The corners are moving up to press the receivers. They'll pass on first down. Again with the run.
So I guess there's not going to be much variety in this franchise, right? Last season, they saw you running the ball. This season, they're going to see me running the ball.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to have somebody to run with now. A fellow runner.
Perfect pass. Great catch, and that'll move the chain.
Well, in this game, like I said, I don't have much choice.
Well, I actually find it harder to run in this game than in Madden 05, believe it or not. Because now I'm so used to getting those, like, schizophrenic games.
Yeah.
He showed great
Well, thing is, in Madden 05, the stretch run works really well, too, right, if you know how to do it.
Yeah, although there's also a lot of various other things that I did figure out how to do with the run to supplement my run game, too, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I don't know.
Pass ball's incomplete. Hale got up and knocked that pass away.
That's what you look for. You have guys.
I find that passing in this game is easier because I feel more confident in throwing the ball deep in this game. Because the safeties aren't, like, totally psychic in this game.
Yeah, that's true. They don't, as individuals, well, somebody jumped.
Yeah, right tackle, I think.
As individuals, they don't play as well, right? Like, they don't stick their hands up at appropriate times to try and knock the ball away and that kind of thing. So it is a little bit, if you want to drop back and throw those kinds of passes, I guess you can probably complete them a little more often than you can in
Play of
Madden
this
05.
drive.
But
Number 89 goes in motion.
Sideline to sideline.
Closing in, throws it on the run.
Wow.
Runs through the tackle.
Wow, he almost made it.
With the
Almost.
great reception.
Yeah, the receiver showed great ability there.
looks like they're not even going to bother going for it, though. The deficit is big enough, they're just going to kick it away.
Yeah, I guess they're just playing for their pride now.
Mosley lines up in the backfield for the punt. Here's the punt. He's waving for the fair catch.
And that was an awful punt,
this
too.
Punt will sail out of bounds.
Yep, it wasn't good.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Ball on their own 25.
But what I find is that, you know, like I'm basically a middle runner anyways, right?
Yeah, well, you've always had a better eye for that than I did anyways. Like, I remember when I used to try to run up in the middle in, like, Season 1 of Madden 05, you used to make fun of me all the time because you would say, like, it's 2 yards and a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
Right, it took me a long time to figure out how running up the middle in that game worked. And then the run to the outside thing was a total accident, right? Because I was actually trying to design a trap run.
Yeah, well, you needed something that would work for you because you couldn't get the inside running game to go. And really, that's not too surprising because in Madden 05, the line is so tight and the linebackers are so tight and everything else that, you know, like the inside running game has a tendency to turn into,
5 yards to
you know, pretty well, I would say 3/4 of the runs that you run in that game, well, you'll end up bouncing them to the outside anyways because there's no gaps in the middle to run into, right?
Yep.
So either your offensive line manages to completely seal off the defense for a second or two so you can run around them,
Loss of about 1.
or, you know, like you're not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's try this again. I want to try this play again just for the fun of it, just to see if I can get it to work, but maybe I'll get...
Number 9 sends a man in motion.
I'll get both tight ends to block, so there.
Dropping back under pressure.
Look at that.
And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more blitzing.
How many were they sending that time? Yeah,
5.
see that?
But look at how wide they come in.
Yeah, that was that play is actually, I think, called strike, right? And you know what? I think that I could have thrown the ball to this guy and had a chance, but I just didn't have time, right? But yeah, that was, again, a wide blitz. And look at that, even with the 3-man line and with the tight end blocking, see how the tight end moves out to pick up that guy?
Yep.
And he just runs around the tackle, like the tackle doesn't pick him up, and that's the guy that got me, actually, right?
Let's get back to the
So I don't know.
on the field.
I don't know what the answer to that is, really. But I guess I get to practice my punting now again.
This will be his 2nd punt of the game.
So we'll try this again. Well, at least it's not going to go out of bounds prematurely, and I angled it up quite a bit.
Here's the kick. And he chooses not to
Yeah,
return
that was
this.
enough to make him call a fair catch.
Concentrated and caught the ball.
Well, he had a guy standing right in his face, so, you know.
Corners are
Yeah.
moving up to press
I
the
was
receiver.
wondering if he was going to get there, though, because he did have to beat both of those blockers, right?
Get set. Sideline to sideline. Hand off to the tailback. Down he goes at the 28-yard line. Only a yard by the halfback. 2nd and 8 coming up here. Ball on their own 28.
Although I have to say, too, though, having Santa Claus at left outside linebacker probably makes defense a lot easier just because of the number of passes that he hurries.
Yep, like that one. Actually, he almost intercepted the pass knockdown there. Right? One guy knocked the pass down, and it came down to him in the backfield there.
Oh, Santa Claus went offside.
Yeah, well, that's okay. They might do... Yeah. Yeah, okay. They'll probably accept this penalty.
He provided the offense with some yardage there.
Yeah, and sometimes these guys want to get off in the snap of the
Now
ball.
it's 3rd and
That
3.
time, he just couldn't time it. He got called for offsides.
Yeah, he was doing the linebacker hand wavy
Johnson,
thing.
the deep man, dropping back with the throw. Incomplete. Looked like it was going to be a
And
reception,
then Jefferson
but he
puts
just
on the hit on the
couldn't hang
defender.
You have to be able
Or
to
on
make
the,
those catches.
So as we get set for the punt,
the
let's
offender?
look at
Yeah,
our
the offender. Well, he's defending himself from Jefferson. Think of it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, he sees him coming and covers up and curls into the fetal position.
That's right.
That's a good job of getting downfield by the cover team to force a fair catch.
Well, I have to say,
But that's why I like to run the mixed man flats, though, is because, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, it was the flat zone guy who made that stop.
Number 9, directing traffic. Ewart.
And that's because, especially when they start towards the inside of the field, they have a tendency to just run straight horizontal across the field and get to the flats as soon as possible without taking their time to roll backwards. It's a different behavior.
well, late in the 4th quarter, and Heward finally made it to 100 yards.
Hand it off again. The running back gets about 3. They need 7. Ball on their own 44. Number 9. Get set.
Bulldog under. Get the ball. Get the ball. Ain't nothing.
Hand it off. 4, maybe 5 yards on that carry.
See, that's why I do this, right? I line him up really, really tight behind the quarterback because now he's got the ball. Now he's almost at the line of scrimmage. And so long as these guys even get an initial block on, it still takes a second or so for a defender to beat a blocker, right?
Yep.
And unless he bowls him over backwards.
Well, and you hear how that they call run too there?
Yeah.
There's a playmaker stick thing that you can do as soon as the ball is snapped in this game to commit to the run or commit to the pass.
Yeah, and and every time you hand the ball off, you always hear that run, right?
Yeah, so they're giving you the strongest run defense they can possibly give you.
When you convert, it gives your defense a little extra rest, and it gives your offense a fresh set of downs to work with.
Drops back, pressure coming, looking for a receiver. He's scrambling around. The 40. Very effective running right there to pick up the first down.
And that's what can happen when you
Santa
lose
Claus
containment on the
celebrates.
quarterback.
Yep.
You have to keep your eyes on him. You have to keep leverage and watch him. Don't turn your
Extra
back on
milk
him.
and
He's
cookies
gonna take
tonight
off.
after that
Right
run.
there.
Oh man, he probably eats them by the platter full playing all of the positions that he plays, you know.
Yeah.
Quarterback, left outside linebacker, kicker.
Hand it off to the back.
Well, okay.
When you have a guy who can carry
I
the
mean,
ball for
that
over
play
100
drew out a
yards
little bit,
game,
but you didn't
you
actually
have
get
half
any
of what
extra
you need
yards
on
after that
offense to get to the
contact.
Super
Well,
Bowl.
you know, like that guy was doing his best to throw a block for me, but it seemed like I was trying
He was in the way.
I was trying to split the blockers like you can in Madden 05, you know, sometimes.
Sometimes
when you get that look.
Sometimes it works here, sometimes it doesn't.
But it didn't quite, you know, work out cleanly, right?
Changing the play
Yeah.
now.
He kept pushing that guy up the field, so I was able to kind of push into them and follow them for a ways, but I couldn't find that space in between the blockers.
He'll get it again. Only a yard by the halfback.
See, this is what a failed run play should look like in Madden 05, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see how everybody at least gets a block, at least at the beginning? Even this guy?
Yep.
You know, like he doesn't hold on to him very long, but at least he tries, right? You know, like you can see right there, he's trying.
Yeah, they at least attempt to engage the guys in front of them, which is something that they don't do.
Although, to tell you the truth, that was the left tackle's fault that guy even had to try and block him. Because the way I see it is that's the left tackle's man, right?
Well, not only that, but they do also have double team block
Yeah,
animations.
well,
in
and
this
then
game
he goes
too,
over
right?
and helps to double team block the guy with the center. But
Yeah, and it's an actual double team block too.
but however, even though it's a nice double team block, it's no longer relevant because I needed this guy to be blocked.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the cupcake factor, right?
Yeah, that is. But you know what? I'm not going to bitch that out the way that I do sometimes with Madden 05, where they basically just leave that guy at the line completely
Yeah, because they
unblocked.
would just completely skip him. There'd be no contact there at all.
Calling
Yeah.
an audible now.
And I really, really detest that, right?
Let's go. Come on.
I don't think you have to run this play.
No, I don't have to run this play. I can let it run to 2 minutes, and then I can go back out and line up again.
Get out.
And you know what? We don't have 40
2
points on the
minutes to
board
go.
because of my running game, right? We have 40 points on the board because your defensive play
It's
set
third
me up
down
in
and
their
4 to
end
go.
of the field
Ball
several
on the
times, right?
23-yard line.
Yeah, that was kind of lucky. I guess we'd have 33 points otherwise, right?
Calling an audible.
Red.
Oh.
25. Yellow.
Okay, yeah.
58.
Oh, do you have one of those plays where when you reverse
Uh-oh.
it goes the wrong way?
And
Yeah.
a great job
And I
by the
can't
defense
challenge
to
that one because
recover
it's
the fumble.
inside 2
In today's
minutes.
game, the
No, that's
defenders are
okay.
almost always gonna try for the
If
strip
they
like
perform
that.
the way they had been the rest of this game long, they won't get very far.
Well, with a score of 40-3, I guess it really doesn't matter very much. But boy, oh boy, our running backs on this team seem to be very fumble prone.
Yet they have close to 90 carrying rating, each of them.
Ooh, wow, that hit him right in the chest,
Fingertips.
Yeah, I think everyone else was
and he
thinking
just
the same
didn't
thing.
catch it.
Yeah, like just to show before we finish this game out here, just so that I have a chance to show people. Like, carrying wise, look at this. 84, 88. They are not bad ball carriers.
The running back that just fumbled that on that run had an 84 carry
And we go back
ability,
to the
right?
game.
Yeah, but the frequency of fumbles in this game is just higher. The frequency of fumbles is just higher. The frequency of interceptions is just higher.
Oh boy, there was another one.
This really is just the year of the turnover. It's the year of the scrambling quarterback and also the year of the turnover.
On the sideline.
Press coverage on
Yeah,
the
in fact, we had in one of our exhibition games we had 4 fumbles.
Yep.
Right.
Hit him low.
You know, like between the 3 running backs, they literally fumbled the ball 4 times.
Right on the mark there to move the
And I got
Thing
one of
is,
them
the
back.
secondary
We
looked
lost
a
3
little
of
on their
them.
heels on that
Right.
one. They just couldn't converge on the ball in time, and now they get a whole new set of downs.
Passing on first down. Pressure coming with the throw. Excellent gain on first down.
These guys are just out there playing.
Well,
a
they're
little
going to
pitch
run
and
that 2-minute
Make it look
offense
easy.
now.
All you got.
Drops back. Pressure. Looking downfield. Gets the pass
Well,
off.
they're trying
Good
anyways.
pass,
Yeah.
but no catch.
Maybe he heard footsteps.
The defense is going to play this one very tight.
I think this defense looks forward to these third down situations because they've been stopping them today.
Throwing. He lost
Oh,
it.
that was a backward
The home
pass.
team. And you know the defense is very angry at that missed opportunity.
I don't think that they should be
Yeah.
throwing those that
You
quickly. I mean,
never
you know
know
what?
when
It's a
this type of
swing
thing is
pass.
gonna
You should
happen.
be able to take a couple or 3 steps back before you throw that.
Closing in with the pass.
Well, they're going to convert on 4th down anyway.
What they're doing here is keeping the defense from huddling
It
up.
is what it
Keeps
is.
the same defense on
Yeah,
the field.
well, like I said, at this point in the game, it really doesn't matter very much. But
Dropping back to pass on first down. The pass falls
What
in,
was that?
And that brings up
I don't
second
think
down.
that guy was
Okay, they
even
gotta
like
keep
off
throwing
the line when
downfield
that
to
was
move the
thrown.
chains
Yeah.
while keeping the clock
well,
moving
there
to a
you go,
minimum.
Santa Claus,
Corners are moving up to
16
pressure
of
the receiver.
23,
Horse trailer player of the game.
horse trailer player of the game. So they did have the horse. This must be a Monday night game,
Under
eh?
pressure, gets rid of it.
So they did have the horse
Incomplete
trailer
pass.
player of the game in this version of the game.
And it looks like the quarterback will have to get up off the ground now.
Yep. Well, you know what? It's a successful defensive play.
Green sets up. Pressure coming. Looking for a receiver.
Oh, look at
This
that.
pass is incomplete.
Although I
They might
don't
as
really
well
feel
just
like
punt
I've
it away now with
racked
game
up
out of
the
reach. Carter gets set for
sacks
the
this
return
game
as
like
we
I
take a
have
look at
some
his
games.
numbers.
I think you got him a few times, but Yeah, you're right. He's been like throwing the
This will
ball
be his
very
10th
quickly, and
punt of the game.
he's more than willing to throw the ball into coverage, right?
He's waiting for the fair catch.
Oh boy, who ended up with that?
In the game, they'll
I think
probably
us.
call a simple run
My
play
God,
here.
like what happened there? Like, look at this. This is something that I really, really don't like. Right? Who ended up being in on that? Like, you called a fair catch and ran away from it. Why is this guy still down here? Right? Like, what is he doing? And this guy too, right? Like, why are they so close? Oh, okay, I guess the kicking team guy picked it up, but look at this. This guy's trying to field that. Like, seriously.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like you have to really watch and pay attention.
Well, it is what it is, right?
And maybe take control of that guy and forcibly run him away, you know, from the
It's first and 10.
ball too, right?
Come on, gee up. Lucy, set.
Because that's crazy. I mean, he would have fielded that you know, he was going to try to field that punt even though you didn't want him to,
Yep.
right? And with all that contact and all those players down around there, I was just having visions of that ball hitting him and then becoming a live ball that was loose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is something as well that you know, like when they introduced the punt block man thing, then at least you didn't have all those blockers down there, you know, in an area where the ball could bounce back and hit one of them, right?
Well, see, the thing is, that was punt return man that I
Yeah.
called. So
Yeah.
that's why those guys were covering them, because those were their men to cover.
Yeah.
Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions
So I
and
don't know,
accounts
maybe-
of this game without the expressed written permission of
Maybe
EA
I should just
Sports is
rely on
prohibited.
myself for pass
This is Al
coverage
Michaels.
and just
Night.
line up in the regular punt return formation.
Yeah, well, it would have been tragic if it had been a close game and that had happened, right? Well, let's see how we did. 179 yards on the ground and 209 yards passing. And you basically...
Wow, I smother the run, don't
Yeah,
I?
well, they don't run very much though either, right? So we got 21 first downs to 7. But we did cough the ball up twice, right? Like 2 fumbles.
Wow, their third down conversion rate was awful.
But look at that time of possession, right?
Yep.
Like, that's crazy. That's because they're passing all the time and not running. Because I threw 23 passes, so I was 16 of 23 and completed 69% of my passes for 231 yards.
Perfect percentage, of course.
Yeah. And on the other hand, 23, I ran the ball 44, 47, 48 times. So it was almost...
You're looking like me out there.
It was almost exactly 2 to 1 in favor of the run, right? So catching, I had, even though I only threw, what was it, 23 passes? Like
You had 5 drops.
23 pass attempts, I had 5 drops, which is kind of high, right? But I did have that 49-yard touchdown run pass to Travis Taylor. The only pass he caught this game.
See that's a statistic you don't see in Madden 12.
Yeah. What, the pancake block?
Yeah, the pancake blocks.
Yeah, nobody gets any except Hines Ward.
Yeah.
Every now and then Hines Ward will get a pancake
Yeah,
block
Hall
in
of
it.
Fame blocking wide receiver Hines Ward.
Yeah.
Probably had the most pancake blocks out of anybody in the league.
Madden 12 was a terrible game, though. I mean, you know what? Every time you bring that up, I just can't resist talking about what a bad football game that game was. It was absolutely horrible.
But they had lots and lots of variety in the way that you could attack the line of scrimmage as a ball carrier, though.
Yeah,
I mean, you could go up the middle, you could go between the center and the guard.
Or you could go, like, you could switch sides. Because, like, you could go between the center and the right guard or between the center and the left guard.
Yep. Or right up behind the center.
Yep. Or you could follow the fullback up the middle.
Yeah, you could follow the fullback up the middle, too.
Yeah. No, it was insane. It was. Terrible. So, anyway, it looks like Santa Claus was the guy out there. He got 5 tackles. Actually, Isaac Harris, the free safety, was a busy guy, too. He only sacked him twice. So...
yeah, he was really throwing it away like crazy.
He was throwing it away quickly, but he only got 1 interception in that game too. But you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pass knockdowns.
Well, I also wonder too how much of that was even just like players getting hit with the ball, because I noticed like he threw a whole bunch of those where players, like my players, were not even aware that the ball was near them. They were just getting hit by it.
Yeah, but I wonder if those even count as pass knockdowns. Maybe there's no statistic for getting hit in the ass with the ball, right? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But anyway, I was 4 for 4 on field goals in spite of some of the troubles that I had with the kick meter. And I had a net average of 25 yards hunting. Because I shanked one. And then I managed to get that one for 38 yards. That's that nice one that I angled upward that he called the fair catch on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So got 1 kick return for each guy and 4 punt returns. We're feeling daring today.
Well, things just kind of opened up as compared to the All Madden team, because their coverage team on the punts isn't as good as the All Madden team was. So, like, we would actually get situations where our coverage, like our blockers would actually collide with these guys when they were close to me and send them stumbling.
Yeah.
And I would use that as a visual cue to avoid hitting the fair catch button and an attempt to run that ball, right?
Well, this guy only completed 16 of 38 passes.
40 attempts total.
Yeah. And they only ran the ball like 13 times, and I think those 2 were probably like the 2 quarterback fumbles.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, the that's one other thing about Madden 04 is very pass happy, right? Like they throw a lot of passes in Madden 04.
And it doesn't matter how much you boost their running sliders.
Yeah. Well, then basically he threw 38 passes. They had 6 drops?
Yeah, and oddly enough, it was the same 2 players dropping the passes, and then nobody else had problems.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Well, this guy here caught that tight end was a good. Remember, I said that tight end was a good player.
He caught 4 passes and didn't drop 1.
Yeah. Well, this guy here didn't do too bad either.
Yeah, the fullback was an extraordinarily reliable wide receiver.
But anyway. So it looks like middle linebacker, strong safety, left end, left outside linebacker, other left outside linebacker. Those are the guys that led in tackles. And they had 6 tackles for a loss. And I took 4 sacks in this game.
Yeah, they definitely had a strong defense.
Yeah, only 1 pass deflection, though. And of course, 2 fumbles, and I lost both of them. So, that's week 2 in the books, and they missed a field goal. Where did they miss from, anyway? It was a longish one, 40 to 49 yards. So, anyway, well, zoned out for a second there.
You're getting tired, are you?
I'm getting tired, yep. I think it must be just about time to wrap this up. So, the Elves have a fast start, going 2-0 in convincing fashion in both games.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll last, but...
Well, you know
We've
what?
started very strong.
We've started very strong. So I guess that's it until next time.
I'm RecV5.
And I am Sandman99. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.